Hey, brother. Hello.
Hi, Toby.
How you doing?
Very well today.
Yeah. Welcome to my little space.
Oh, it's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
Thank you, bro. Thanks for agreeing to come to my live today. It's really a pleasure. It's really a pleasure that I'm
Pleasure is mine,
that
bro.
I'm inviting the mighty only one Juice, and you have invited to come to my live. Thank you so much. I really appreciate. So I've found out some questions concerning the industry. I know that you are very like professional in the industry, and I've seen you do things, and I would really like to ask you some questions. I want I want you to answer me as honest as possible.
I'll do my best. Sure.
So I want you to introduce yourself briefly. So let me know you briefly.
Okay, so um, it's good to be here. Um, my name is Juice. I am a music producer, a sound designer from Lagos, Nigeria, and yeah, I mean, we we just spend the house making good music, and some of them eventually end up as some of the hits that you know.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
We're still coming to the hits that you've made, because I've heard some of your jobs, and they are really awesome. Like, they are beautiful. So my first question for you right now is okay. So I think I've asked you the first one. Tell me about yourself, but I think I'll ask you. So just briefly tell me about yourself, how you started, how you stumbled into music. How did it start up for you?
Oh, so really, it wasn't stumbling into music. Yeah, I, for being a music producer. Yeah, I started out playing an instrument. Most of us do, and we started from yeah playing in church, and you do it to the point where um you realize the need to now, how do I put this? You realize the need to now probably properly commercialize yourself. That's turning what you know into accessible products for people to use to be able to better people's life. Yeah, so yeah, I started from church, learned an instrument, played a couple years as a church musician. Um, I did gigs, I did tours, and it just gave me first-hand experience on what it takes to put music together and what music should sound like on the global stage, on the global platform. So yeah, I started out playing in church, and then getting all of that exposure, I felt like music production would be a smart way to commercialize all the knowledge that I've learned, putting all my ideas into the marketplace. Yeah, just to be able to add value to people's life and then get value in return.
That's good. So that's really interesting. So my question number two for you now is, so when you talk about creative, like being a creative, what does it really mean to you?
Well, being a creative is different for different people in different part of the world, but I mean, essentially, at the core of it, it's the same thing. But it is experienced differently based on your region.
Mhm.
Really, here in Lagos, Nigeria, being a creative is um I'm trying to find the right words here. In Lagos, Nigeria, being a creative it, it means that number one, you had to be very good at your stuff.
Mhm.
For starters, you had to be very good at what you do, because this is Lagos. There's competition in basically every endeavor,
Yeah.
high competition at that. So, um, being here in Lagos, you have to be very good at what you're doing. I mean, talking about the top 10 or 5% of the best hands in your field as a creative. As a creative, also, you had to have a very, very good network, right? And I'm saying all this I'm saying it in a broader perspective, but on a more personal note, being a creative means being able to, being a great human
Mm-hmm.
being, right? Yeah, it means that you have to be good. I mean, it means that you have to experience life. It means you have to live. It means you have to travel. It means you have to converse. You have to be involved in conversations, because all of these things, the very little things that, you know, make up. These are what we talk. These are the kind of things that are talked about in songs,
Okay.
right? I mean, you share your experiences through songs, right? So you really have to be a good human being. You have to. We all are learning to live better. Do you understand? And I have a saying that the better you are at living, the better you are at creating. So mm, that's it for me. Being a creative means being alive and present, being aware, being being just living.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So my next question is, so for example, I want to work on a project. Maybe I have a song or I have something that I've been thinking in my head, and I come and meet you. I say, Charles, this project, this particular song, this is it. I don't have it. I don't have it all together. And I say, okay, but I have the idea. I have the lyrics. So for you as a creative or as a producer, you know, how how does it work for you? Putting people's ideas together and putting them in a single piece.
Well, that's kind of the technical part of working. But I mean, the first thing you must know, any creative who does well will tell you that there's no stupid ideas. Creatives are not afraid of ideas, particularly music producers. Let me speak for my field a bit, right? We're not afraid of ideas. So I mean, it is important that, no matter how crazy your idea is, you bring it in its element. Because I say to people, I said, as a music producer, yeah, you might be adding your 2 cents to the quality of work that is getting put out, but really, in the real sense of it, you are not depriving the artist or let me say client in this term. Let me use the term client in this case. You're not depriving the client of their originality.
Mhm.
Do you understand? You are helping them paint their picture, right? So yeah, their picture, not your picture, right? So you really have to, have your what's it called? You really have to have your processes sharpened. So you get, if I get this song now, I know a few processes I'm supposed to take. I know that for starters, I'm supposed to get into the studio with the song owner. Do you understand? So we sit down together and then try out ideas, right? Most of the time there are cases whereby the artist is very experienced and know what they want, but more often than not, you get artists who cannot really say what they want. So it's important that you get into um, a session with them, and you guys just share energy, basically, and try out ideas, and in that process, they become more comfortable with you. Do you understand? They become more open to share what they want with you,
Okay.
and in that process, you you kind of win them over to be able to suggest some of the ideas that you have privately practiced, and you know ideas that are proven to have worked. Do you understand? You just share it with them, and that's literally how it works. At least for me, that's how it works. Yeah, that's it.
So my next question is, I know that you've worked with different kind of clients, artists, and my next question now to you as somebody that has been in the industry for a very long time. So what has been your challenges? Like, if thinking back, what has been the most challenging period for you? Like, most challenging job, let me use that for you, or period in the industry.
So here's the thing here. It's not even about the work, because when it comes to the work, we are constantly researching,
Okay.
right? We're constantly researching new methods. We are learning. We are improving. So it's really not, the difficulty doesn't come in, it doesn't come on getting the job done as per hands on. I feel like the major difficulty is in other situations, like I would say, and these are not peculiar to me, this I've noticed.
Hey, brother.
Here's the thing here. It's not even about the work, because when it comes to the work, we are constantly researching.
Okay.
There's only so much you can manage in terms of people, in terms of situations, in terms of, other organizations who want to work with you. There's only so much you can manage. So my advice would be, get a manager whose
Okay.
job whose job it becomes to manage, you know, these kind of things. I have no issues managing an artist that I want to work with. I recorded an artist yesterday who I had just met for the first time. He flew he flew to the other side of the country just to for us to have a session together. And uh, being natural at managing people and situations put me in a put me I mean, it made it quite easy for us to get the work going. But I mean, it could be a setback whereby, because we are of different temperaments, upbringings, and all what's not, we there could be challenges with that. So I feel that when it comes to other aspects of creating, other aspect of working, just get a manager. Just get a manager, and then you can focus on creating good
So,
stuff.
talking about managing clients, still on that topic, have you ever, know, had to manage, had to converse with a client and something went bad, and when you got into your space, you now reflect on probably what happened during your day, and like whoosh, I should have handled this situation like this. I should have handled this like this. So now going back to our clients, handling clients. So have you in any way made a mistake? Have you had to make a mistake?
Mis- yeah, in that sense, mistakes are bound to happen, because we all are people in the realest sense of that. However, I I I don't just do what I want when I'm on the job. Like I said, we're constantly researching methods to make the process of music creation easier, and more, more of an experience here. Let me use that word. And I would say that when I'm working with the clients, it's more like, yeah, there's the point where we get to and we can just be ourselves. But more so, I have more often than not, there's a standard procedure for dealing with clients, and even into conflict resolution. It's interesting to know that sometimes project can get
Mm-hmm.
paused, uh, workflows can get suspended just because of um, personal differences in the process, right? So that in itself places, and it's music, it's art. The at the receiving end is a larger audience. That's just that who don't really care about this stuff, who just want to get who just want to vibe off the next big song. Do you understand? So rather than getting into a situation where projects have to be paused based on personal differences, personally I've developed a standard procedure in dealing with my clients. So it minimizes personal differences, and it just minimizes it, if not depleting it completely.
Okay. Okay. So now, my next question is, what have you learned to do differently when it comes to dealing with a client over time? What have you learned to do differently?
Mm, that's a tricky one because that's not a question in itself. I I am going to have to give a reference to that question. Well, early days of being a producer, um, I would want to do everything by myself, right? But over time, in the process of getting better and wanting to be fantastic at what you do, I've learned to delegate more, right? Why giving close supervision? Anyways, I've learned to delegate. I have a group of fantastic, other music producers who, we work kind of as a collective, and what it does is it helps me see music through different lenses, right? It helps me, gives me a pool of ideas to pick from, right? So yeah, I've learned to do that differently. It really used to be me wanting to just,
Do everything.
you know, go against the world,
Hmm.
and I found out that yeah, I can do that better if I create a team. Yeah, so
So,
yeah, I have some of I have some of the I have some of the most fantastic hands in the country now who we work very closely together.
okay. So my last question is, so talking about the creative industry, where do you see the industry moving to in the next, let's say, 5 years from now?
Are you talking about the Nigerian industry or the industry at
Just at
large?
large.
Oh, so okay, so the industry at large, I, I see I see the industry resetting
Okay.
in the next 2 3 years. I think that music so far has become so automated that on some levels it probably even lacks soul. These are my personal views. I'm not in any way trying to you know project, but I think that the music industry generally has come this far. Beautiful stuff out there. There's a gazillion of artists, underground artists, who, I mean, to interest you to know that this year alone, I've listened to close to 100 albums
Wow.
already. Yes, and when I say 100 albums, I'm talking about the mixed mass of both known and underground artists. And to interest you to know that the best music are not on your popular platforms. The best music are not there. So I see the industry resetting to the traditional practice of music, where people who really have music content and a heart for soul and art, will get the opportunity to, you know, get a shot at the spotlight. Yes, that's what I see in the next one,
Okay.
2 years. So in there, underground artists, just do your stuff, make art, make music, hang in there. The great reset is coming.
Okay. So thank you so much for coming onto my life. I really appreciate, your time. I appreciate your efforts, and thanks
Yes,
so much with us already. And
yes.
I wish to invite you sooner in the future on a larger scale. Thank you so much, Charles.
Thank you so much.
For
Thank you so
now,
much.
we say bye. Thanks to everyone that has joined. I can see Joshua, J Boy. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.